Hello, this is Matthew Armstrong and welcome to Transformation Talk. Today I've got the great pleasure of speaking with Laura Shanley. Laura is a freelance writer, she's a birth consultant, author, and also the author of the book Unassisted Childbirth. And Laura's also she had 4 children of her own, all unassisted at home. So it's a pleasure to be speaking with you, Laura. Also might say that you have your second book coming out on the 28th of February as well. Second edition, is it?
Right. Yes, same book, updated with new information, new birth stories, new statistics, new insights.
Okay,
So,
awesome.
and information about that will be available on my website, unassistedchildbirth.com.
Yeah, great. Okay, so a lot of people don't think about childbirth as really anything to do with health. You know, one thing that we're sharing is our health journey and what we're learning along the way with nutrition, with the mind, with emotions and everything. But a lot of people don't really think about childbirth. They think they go to the hospital and they have their baby and that's it. But you know, from what I'm looking at, I think a high majority of childbirths are traumatic births that happen because it's not really done in a very natural, friendly sort of way that's conducive to the emotional well-being of the child and the parent. It's something that I really wanted to bring up, especially now as we're really looking into it, because we're going to be having our own child in July, and we're really looking into unassisted childbirth because from what we've read about and what we've seen through documentaries and things like that, is it really seems like for us anyway, the way that makes the most sense, and I know you've had 4 unassisted births, so can you maybe just give us a bit of background on how you came to take that route yourself?
Okay, I got interested in this in, must have been 1976 when I met my husband-to-be and now ex-husband, David, and he had become fascinated with the evolution of self-consciousness, and he had been reading a book called The 5 Ages of Man by Gerald Hurd, and Hurd was impressed by Grantley Dick Reed. And he was interested in birth trauma. And Grantley Dick Reed was a physician who lived in England and was writing in the first half of the 20th century. And he wrote a book called Childbirth Without Fear. The basic premise of the book is that childbirth should ideally give a woman a feeling of exaltation. It wasn't meant to be this horribly traumatic, painful ordeal.
Right.
It should be the highlight of a woman's life, of a couple's life. But that the reason that it isn't, the primary reason that it isn't, is because women have become afraid of birth, and that fear triggers the fight-flight response, which essentially shuts down labor. So I became really fascinated by this concept because Dick Reed really explained what happens when a woman is afraid, you know, physiologically, that the fear causes the body to produce adrenaline, and it stops the body from producing oxytocin, the very hormone needed to give birth. It causes the blood and oxygen to flow away from the uterus and into the arms and legs so the frightened woman can run away from or fight the danger. So he says that the uterus of a frightened woman in labor is literally white. It doesn't have the fuel it needs. And so childbirth becomes extremely painful and problematic. Babies get stuck, all sorts of things can happen. So he believed if we could truly understand that birth has been beautifully designed. He did believe in a God or a larger consciousness. He felt that that birth was as beautifully designed as digestion, elimination, respiration, and that as long as we didn't trigger the fight-flight response, blood and oxygen could gently flow to the uterus, you know, it could contract and easily get the baby out. And so that book just really had a profound effect on me. At the same time so actually the night that I met David, he gave me that book, and I had not been interested in childbirth at all, never really been drawn to birth or having babies, never gave it much thought, but something clicked in me and I just was fascinated. Eventually, David and I became a couple, and we started reading other books that dealt with how the mind affects the body. We were specifically reading the Seth books by Jane Roberts, the concept there being you create your own reality. So we were looking into the power of thoughts and feelings, and and that you really can create the birth that you want, the life that you want, if you examine your beliefs, eliminate limiting beliefs, and believe in your own abilities, that you can manifest what you want. So one of the first areas of our lives that we decided to apply this to was birth. And I became pregnant in December of '77, and we started thinking about, well, if we bring somebody into the birth, we are going to have to teach them everything that we've been reading about, Grantley Dick Reed, and physiologically what's happening in the body, and how we believe we create our own reality. And at that time, now those concepts are more well accepted, but back then there weren't a lot of people talking about it. And we just felt like that's a lot of work to try to get somebody to read everything that we were reading. And we felt that anybody we brought in would bring their own fears, and that fear is contagious. Basically, if you are around fearful people, it tends to rub off on you. Whereas if you're around people that have more confidence, more faith, that rubs off on you as well. Yeah. And so we just decided, okay, well then let's just do it ourselves. We had also been reading Spiritual Midwifery by Ina May Gaskin, and we found that helpful. The birth stories in there were very helpful for me, very inspiring. Now I look at them as being a little bit too interventionist. I don't really like the midwives telling women what to do or get in this position or that position. But so I found the birth stories inspiring, and we just decided, okay, this is what we're going to do. And so we did it.